Okay, let's get straight to the point. Let's talk about these updates involving this Jamal White kidnapping case. And one of the latest updates really speaks about how the mom was actually the target. But I'm also going to talk about the mom and one of her friends and how both of them had something sad happen to them on the same day. But unfortunately for one, it didn't end well. So on July the 12th, Jamal White was kidnapped, and everybody saw that viral video online of that white Jeep scoping out the area, eventually pulling up. And you can see the dad taking off running and all of that, and then you see them grabbing Jamal White. But thankful, Jamal White was later found safe and was actually turned over to CPS. Now, these are the parents. This is Siobhan Williams. She goes by Paris. And this is the daddy, Jamal White Sr., and he goes by a rap name, 785 Twin. Now, the dad has been getting criticized all over the internet for running and basically leaving his son, because that's how people felt. They saw the video, they like, you took off and left your son. Now, the dad has since addressed this online, which you can see in this Facebook post, where he talked about basically explaining why he ran. And he left his son because he thought that, they were trying to rob him. So he went in the house and locked the door, leaving his son outside, which had a lot of people still to this day is jumping in his comments under that post and letting him know, look at man, that was wrong. And a lot of people saying what they would have done. But, I don't think I'm going to say this. I know what I would have done for how I feel about my kids. But then, some people pointed out is that you don't know what you would do in that situation. But as a father, it's your job to protect your child. So now this story has more twists and turns than a roller coaster. But before we get into the latest update, let's double back. So now this is the uncle, Jamal White. So they are twins, Jamal White and Jamal White. They twin brothers. But the uncle was arrested on the same day that his nephew was taken, and people automatically thought and was accusing him of he had something to do with it. But come to find out, he didn't. The uncle was arrested for shooting at a father and a son who was out there trying to help them find Jamal White.
Alarming new video shows what prosecutors say is the uncle of Jamal White, a Milwaukee boy abducted and later found safe, firing shots towards volunteers trying to find him.
I was just in shock. You could literally help somebody and still be a target.
This man doesn't want to be identified.
To hear that little boy scream out for his daddy, and the way he sounded, it was just like, yo, you got to get up and search around, you know what I mean, and try to see, if you can find something.
He says he and his 16-year-old son drove to Houston Saturday morning. He says he drove around to make sure he was in the right area and then tried to park.
As soon as I was able to see this guy running, he turns around, aims his gun at us and starts shooting.
27-year-old Jamal White was arrested. White told detectives he was scared for his family.
Shook my son a little bit. It kind of put a bad taste in my mouth to help him.
Now, this is Corey Williams. He was the first guy arrested. He was arrested after they found Jamal. He was still driving the Jeep that they went and kidnapped Jamal in. We all saw that on video. Now, it was 3 individuals altogether. And basically, Corey Williams seemed like a fall guy. He was the driver. But the 2 other individuals in the video, names have been identified. And the reason I know that, because according to the police report, the police basically is saying that Corey Williams is down there singing like he in a church choir. He down there telling on everybody. He treating this thing like New Jack City Nino Brown. This is bigger than me. So with that being said, he is basically telling them everything that happened and what's going on. Now, which leads to this. Now, we do know the mother, Siobhan Williams, Jamal White mother, aka Paris, she was also arrested on something non-related to the kidnapping, but she was arrested on some other things, and she have charges pending. But when we get into these new updates, y'all going to look at the mother from a different perspective with a side eye, because it's going to be some things revealed that I know for y'all women out there as a mother wouldn't even think about, the stuff that she did and the decision that she made, with the police trying to help find her son. And it seemed like the mother was being a little difficult. But now, Thanks to Jamal White, the 7-year-old, he was brave enough to tell the police everything that happened once he was inside the truck with the kidnappers. Y'all, let's listen to the latest update of everything that went down and how the mom is the number one uno target in this whole situation over some money because she ran there getting paper. Let's go.
As the 7-year-old boy passes by on his bicycle Friday night, court documents show the people in this white Jeep weren't on Houston Street just by happenstance. This was a planned robbery that quickly escalated into something more. Thursday, prosecutors charged 25-year-old Corey Williams with kidnapping and taking hostages. The criminal complaint says Williams admitted to taking the license plate off his girlfriend's Jeep to help as part of a plan to rob the boy's mother. Williams told police this was all the 14-year-old's idea. The reason why? Williams said the boy's mother, identified as 25-year-old Siobhan Williams, is a, quote, well-known drug dealer who flaunted money on FaceTime calls with the 14-year-old. As of Thursday night, she is not charged in this case.
So as you see, Corey Williams is down there giving them all the information. Corey Williams said that this whole thing was planned by a 14-year-old. Now, I want to say Corey Williams is 27. What are you doing listening to a 14-year-old convincing you to go through with something like this? And then this is crazy. But the mother also got to take some accountability. You want to be around there getting your money and all that kind of stuff and be in the streets. But you see that this is all caused because you are flossing. Remember, people, Corey Williams was following the mom on Instagram. So he watching her every move, and probably the other guys just following her too. Seeing what she doing. She ran there flossing her jewelry, her money, and they ran there thinking about, well, we want some of that. And they trying to figure out a way that they're going to get some of that. And that's exactly what they wanted. They wanted their grits to have some cheese in it. And they was going to get it from the mama by any means necessary. Let's keep going.
The complaint says Corey Williams then called Siobhan Williams nearly 40 times between 7:33 Friday night and 2:39 Saturday morning. The trio demanded $100,000 in jewelry in exchange for the boy. The complaint adds the 7-year-old boy told police he heard his mom on the phone say she'd come pick him up, but never did. Milwaukee police found the boy and Williams Saturday afternoon near 39th and Lloyd. Police used a database to track the Jeep, which had been seen elsewhere with license plates. It's owned by Williams' girlfriend, who led police to him. Prosecutors say Williams then confessed and named his two accomplices, who are not yet charged.
So Corey Williams' girlfriend basically told on him. He using his girlfriend's Jeep to go do a kidnapping. Now, the girlfriend probably didn't even know what was going on. And then Jamal White was found at the home with a 14-year-old who planned the thing. This is crazy. And you still driving around in the Jeep. Now, you went and pulled this off. You using your girlfriend's Jeep. You took the plates off. But you put the plates back on and just started riding around like everything was all good. Like you didn't just not kidnap a 7-year-old boy that was all on ring camera. That's what they didn't expect. They didn't expect this to be on ring camera. Now, let's get back to the mom. Now, the mom, we're going to get more into the video of these updates. They about to talk about how the mom, when they found Jamal White, they was at that scene in Milwaukee, 39th and Lloyd or whatever. The mom was there, but she left. She wasn't even being cooperative with the police pertaining to her son. Let's listen to this.
Meanwhile, a search warrant for the 14-year-old's home says Siobhan Williams was uncooperative and left the scene as detectives were looking for her son. It goes on to say her actions, quote, impeded the police investigation and slowed investigator efforts to quickly and safely locate and recover the boy from his abductors. Public records show she's in custody at the Milwaukee County Jail. The district attorney tells Fox 6 that charges are pending. Reporting in Milwaukee, Sam Kramer, Fox 6 News.
So the mom is around here in Milwaukee, in the streets doing her thing, getting big bucks, no whammies. And according to Corey Williams, all that flossing and stunting basically is the reason why they wanted to go get the money. So they said, well, we'll take your son. Try to get it for a ransom. This is some paid in full stuff. Now, according to Corey Williams, the mom was on a live with the 14-year-old who planned it. And she was flossing and showing him money. So that is the reason this whole plan came together. So to the father's defense, the father really didn't know what was going on. I mean, that's all we know right now because his name is not being mentioned and they ain't saying nothing about him having anything to do with it. But the mom gonna have to watch how she move. But these guys, this Court Williams guy, we knew from the beginning he looked like he didn't know what he was getting himself into at all. He's still driving around in the truck. And now all three of those guys is facing up to 120 years going on a long vacation. All because of they trying to get $100,000 in some jewelry. And you didn't get nothing at all. Now the mom, like I say, she ran there doing her thing. She ran there getting money. Now this part of the story, I'm about to talk about how the mom and a friend of the mom both had two sad situations to happen to them on the same day, July the 12th. But unfortunately for the mama friend, it didn't end well.
The biggest nigga.
I know that's right. That's I'm a little one. Hey, Tweezy said it's his birthday every day, right?
Really rich in real life, boss.
Yeah, what you said?
The biggest.
Yeah, really rich. Hey.
So that video was them partying, having a good time in a club 2 months ago in May. And to the left with the dark shades on is Jamal White's mother, Siobhan Williams, aka Paris. And to the right is her friend who goes by the name Antoine Hogans, but he also goes by the name OG Tweezy. And everybody in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin community, from everything I've been seeing, ain't had nothing but great things to say about this guy. And he was doing a lot in the neighborhood. He even had his own hookah business in the community, and it was called Hookahs by Tweezy. So he was a guy, seemed like he was a caring guy. He had kids and just ran there just trying to live his life, live out loud, and just do his thing. But like I say, on July the 12th, they both had something sad to happen to them, which is crazy. Because Siobhan Williams, aka Paris, her son was kidnapped on July the 12th, but he was later found safe, and that's good. But also on July the 12th, Antoine Hogan's OG Tweezy ended up losing his life from a shooting that happened outside of a club. He was promoting a party on July the 11th, but the shooting happened in the early mornings of July the 12th. And according to the reports, he had nothing to do with nothing. He was just outside, and some people came and pulled up and started busting, and he ended up getting hit. And this is all crazy, sad situation.
Friday, July 11th, Snoopy, Manny Fresh, OG Tweezy, Steve the Stoner, we at Element. It's up and it's stuck.
Boy, crazy, man. My boy Manny Fresh, man. You hear me? Steve the Stoner. Yeah. Right here. Element Friday. July 11th, y'all know what time it is. Doors open at 9. Get them sections, man.
Hosted by the one and only big homie, Snoopy.
Yeah, man. It's really real.
All right, Blake, look inside this art gallery. There's black tape covering where bullets pierced through the glass and evidence markers pointing to where they hit. The gunfire continued down the block, and now some are assigning blame to the club next door, which is Element Lounge.
So they've been in business 6 weeks, and there's been a lot of issues.
Calls for license review.
Somebody has to do something.
By activist Sean Moore and Alderman Robert Bauman.
Based on what the investigation shows, I think there certainly is grounds for a revocation action here.
After a deadly mass shooting on Water Street, Bauman briefed by police about the carnage.
He told me that a group of individuals were standing outside, right outside the door, and a vehicle pulled up, and multiple shooters in the vehicle opened fire with what they believed to be automatic weapons and drove off.
Gunfire hitting 5 people in total. 39-year-old Kevin Lewis, a father of 2, died at a hospital. 52-year-old Antoine Hogans, better known as Tweezy, a beloved Milwaukee entrepreneur and promoter, died at the scene.
This is truly a sad situation. You have a guy, OG Tweezy, just doing his stuff, promoting parties, has his hookah shop. I mean, he's just out here just, doing what a man doing, trying to get some money and just trying to have some fun and live his life and go back home to his family. But unfortunately, on July the 12th, that didn't happen for him. Now, this club, Element, clearly the city officials is trying to shut it down. But now the club owner has now spoken out and basically is like, hey, what y'all want him to do? He's saying it's not his fault. He don't have no control over that. Y'all listen to this. Let's go.
This weekend, a shower of bullets pierced through the glass at an art gallery, a treat shop, and Element Lounge.
So much noise shooting.
How many shots do you think you heard?
Ma'am, if I think it should be over 100. It should be at least over 100.
The lounge's owner, Raj Baines, did not want to go on camera, But he says the violence isn't his business's fault.
We were doing our honest business. Somebody's a bypasser on the road and some random 2 cars came up. They start shooting, ma'am. Tell me, how should I control them?
This whole situation is sad. But first, rest in peace and condolences to Antoine Hogan's OG Tweezy family. Because that's a sad situation. But this all is a sad situation. On July the 12th, 2 people who know each other had something sad happen to them. Now, for Siobhan Williams, Paris, and Jamal White father, Jamal White Sr., they got to get it together. Now, Siobhan Williams, I don't know what's going to happen with her charges that she have pending, or how much time she'll be possibly facing. But whenever they do get their child back, if that happens, because you know CPS, they not just finna hand this child over. Looking at everything that's going on, the stuff with the mother allegedly not cooperating and making it difficult for the police, and then these guys saying that they were trying to, it's just crazy. Now, like I say, to the father defense, his name has not come up to where they said anything about him that it was something they was coming to get him for or anything. It was strictly right now about the mother. Over $100,000 in some jewelry. And y'all decided to go take a little boy for that. But like I say, the parents, Jamal White Sr. and the mother, Siobhan Williams, if you make it out of this situation and get a chance to get a second chance, and also for the father, even though this, according to these reports, don't have nothing to do with you, you still need to look at this and get your stuff together and whatever you're thinking about doing. I understand the street life, and I know that we grew up in communities sometimes, and that's all we know. But the whole goal of it is to get out, to make it out. And once you make it out, don't look back. Because once you have kids, that at some point should want to change you to say, hey, enough is enough. But y'all get in the comments, tell what y'all think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share my video. I'm Gertie Mac. Holla.